Ever since the Supreme Court legalized abortion in its 1973 Roe v. Wade ruling, the procedure has been among the most controversial issues in all of American politics. It's also provided a stark dividing line between the parties. Typically, Democrats are pro-choice, Republicans are pro-life. And some Republicans have gone even further, calling for an outlaw of all abortions, including in cases of rape and incest, or even to save the life of the mother. This weekend, one of those Republicans, a sitting congressman and his party's nominee for the U.S. Senate from Missouri, went on television and explained why he opposes such exceptions even after a woman has been raped. His name, Congressman Todd Akin.
First of all, from what I understand from doctors, that's really rare. If it's a legitimate rape, the female body has ways to try to shut that whole thing down.
A legitimate rape. Congressman Akin today tried to walk those comments back. In an interview with former governor and current radio host Mike Huckabee, an early backer of Akin's campaign, Akin apologized for the comments, saying rape is, quote, never legitimate, adding, it's an evil act, it's committed by violent predators. I used the wrong words the wrong way. Akin's comments reaching the presidential level as well. Here's President Obama's comments today.
The views expressed were offensive. Rape is rape. We shouldn't have a bunch of politicians, a majority of whom are men, making healthcare decisions on behalf of women.
The Republican Romney-Ryan ticket also denounced Akin's comments and tried to back as far away from Akin as it could. In a statement, a Romney-Ryan spokesperson said they disagree with Mr. Akin's statement, and a Romney-Ryan administration would not oppose abortion in instances of rape. And Romney himself called Akin's comments, quote, insulting, inexcusable, and frankly wrong. Now, from a political standpoint, Akin's comments could have a huge impact. He's running against incumbent Democratic Senator Claire McCaskill, who had been among the most vulnerable Democrats in the entire Senate. Polling showed her between 5 and 11 points behind Akin for a seat many say is essential for the GOP to win back if they want to win the control of the Senate. Now most experts are calling this race a toss-up. As word comes, the GOP leaders are looking for ways to replace Akin on the ballot. But will there be an impact beyond Missouri? The GOP has been accused of fighting a war on women in recent years, as we've repeatedly covered on RFL, from requirements for transvaginal ultrasounds before abortions can be performed to opposing equal pay laws to attacks on contraception coverage, Planned Parenthood, and all the other issues and bills listed on your screen. And then there's the gender gap we're seeing in the polls. President Obama favored by 15 points among all women voters, according to NBC and the Wall Street Journal, a gap that swells to 31 points among college-educated women. Now joining us tonight to talk about this and the rest of the day's big stories, Dominic Carter, political journalist and author, Democratic political humorist Rob Taub, welcome to the program, Rob, and conservative radio host and a frequent panelist here, TJ McCormack, easy for me to say. Let's start first with the politics inside Missouri. Is this a game changer in that race? Can this guy stay on the ballot and win?
It's definitely a game changer. McCaskill, the senator, was among the walking dead politically. And Andrew, this totally changes the dynamics of that contest. If he's not taken off the ballot by his own party, if it's possible to do so at this time, she may win in a walk. I mean, I just don't understand. And the president is right in terms of, you know, with the legislature, we have in Congress a bunch of men talking about health issues that impact women. But who in their right mind would say something like that?
Yeah, besides Whoopi Goldberg, rape. Look, here's the thing.
Goldberg is not in office.
I'm just saying.
Not in office.
I know, I just couldn't resist.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Look, for me, I woke up this morning, full disclosure, I woke up this morning reactionary. I woke up this morning, my inner lib was jumping out of me, and I said, this guy is unfit, this guy needs to go away, gone. And as the day has gone on, as he went and retracted his words and put in the right ones, I'm softening on it, and I'm like, you know what? If you're allowed to retract and you're on the left, if you're, you know, his words satisfy me for the moment. Let's see how he goes forward. But it's really, really, really slippery and ticklish. This is bad.
I appear on the Onion News Network as an obscene weatherman, and if I had not seen this in the New York Times, I would have actually thought this was from the Onion at first. But now to get to a serious note about it, what nobody's really even addressing nationally that I've seen is it's going to have an impact on swing voters for Romney, because there are people like myself that have always voted Democrat that are thinking, maybe I'm going to vote for Mitt Romney now. But it's those social issues and those oddball Republicans that really bother me. And then there's a comment like this, and that's like, legitimate rape, yeah, it's like legitimate murder too. You know, when we
Then
kill
again,
bad
Romney
people.
did a good job, though. I thought
did.
this was one of the rare instances of good
It's
communication.
still a stigma and a stench that's attached to the Republican Party.
One of the bigger problems in my mind in all of this is the fact that it seemed to be off the cuff. This seemed to be his rationale, his legitimate rationale behind his viewpoint when it comes to the rape exception when it comes to cases of abortion. Is this a little peering too much behind the curtain? I mean,
Did he show a little conservative leg?
And how does this fold into this wider GOP war on women that we've heard so much about, and we listed all the different ways it's been put in place?
I still do not buy into the war on women. I think it's a creation of the left in order to create as much fodder as possible to take our eyes off of weekly first-time jobless claims and 8.3% unemployment, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. As Rob drops his shoulder. Look, here's the thing.
I'm ready to hit you.
Yeah. And here's the thing, though, is that I think that you have a lot of conservatives like myself who want to literally, I don't believe abortion is ever going to be illegal in this country. I just don't see it ever happening, and I don't like it as a part of my politics. I don't like abortion being in my politics. I will participate when I have to, in a panel setting, in a discussion. But you know what? I have the way I pray, the way I live, and I have my politics. And yes, there are some. At the same time, though, this fellow was saying, Akin was saying how what he did when he did say the wrong word. When he said legitimate, which is still awful. He was talking about forcible rape, and again, Romney, in a rare instance of good communications, they said this Romney-Ryan administration will always provide an exception.
Romney may have said the right thing, Andrew, but the problem is his running mate, Paul Ryan. This highlights Ryan's position on rape. Going back to, on abortion, excuse me, Ryan has been historically against abortion even in cases of rape. That is an extreme position. It's highlighted now that he's on the ticket, and this is going to give his position legs in terms of it's a story that's going to continue.
He's number 2. He's on the Romney ticket.
TJ brought up a good point, which is something our founding fathers used to talk about, called a separation of church and state. If Republicans could ever figure this out, they would get more votes. That's what kills them all the time on a national level. It does.
It's, you know what, any of the claims that the Republicans are a little heartless on some of these social issues, I think it got a name and a face over the weekend in Todd Akin.